Hey guys, I want to show you my current journals real quick. I'm using about a dozen journals right now. I've never really done that, but I decided I wanted to use a variety of styles and designs, paper types, and all that, right? And be able to enjoy each one more instead of feeling like I had to rush through the current journal to be able to use the next. So far it's working out well, even though it makes it take longer. This one is my main current journal. I kind of have like a few main ones, and then the rest are kind of ones I'm sort of using when I feel like it, but like I don't use the most of the time. But this one is my main one. I've been using this one about 4 months. I've had this cover. I used this one for like 4 years ago. I decided to reuse it this time. And I stuck a Rodeo web notebook in it, a dot grid one. And I've never used dot grid before, but I actually kind of like it, even though the paper is pretty thin. But this one's only got about 40 pages left, so I'm excited to finish this one. And then I've been using this one a little bit. It's an older Barnes & Noble one that they don't make anymore, but it's got the deckled edges that gets all over everything, but the paper's really nice and the leather smells amazing. And they had an antique leaves one, the one that had like leaves on it. They have another one out now that doesn't have the leather that's just amazing, but it's got the same deckled edges and same overall like design, like, well, a little bit different binding, never mind. The same type of journal, some paper. It's red with a tree of, actually I'll show you. It's this. So if you're looking for one kind of similar, the leather's not as nice as this. This one's just, the leather is just, it's just really, really nice. Okay, I'll leave it at that. Anyway, I'm starting to use this one a little bit too. This one, they had at Barnes & Noble for years. I'm not sure when it's published, but I'm pretty sure it's like over 10 or 15 years old. At least 10 years old. And I bought this used about a year or two ago, I think. I don't really remember, but I'm starting to use it just because I want some small things to look forward to. It's kind of, I don't know, I have a lot going on. I'm trying to improve my life, and there's always a lot of disappointment when you're trying to do that. I had 3 interviews for a job, and they told me today I didn't get it. So I was like, I don't know, crying a few times today. Not just because of that, but just like from everything this year. From that, from another job that you need a degree for, even though they wanted to interview me, I don't have a degree in time, and they want the degree before that you get hired, or like they want the showing that you'll have it in time. I don't know, it's just all sorts of shit. And I've had a migraine for 6 days in a row. Like, I'm waking up with a migraine, so I just haven't felt good, and had a job that I had 3 interviews for turned me down, and other ones not working out, and whatever. So small stuff like having a journal to look forward to. It doesn't have to be like a fancy one or anything, just like having something to look forward to in your life, some daily shit. And I don't mean hobbies. I tried it online. I got like a free trial of online counseling. I saw on like some Facebook ad a few weeks ago. And the lady's like, try hobbies. I'm like, when you're like deeply just like heartbroken about some things in your life, hobbies are not gonna fix that. I can see like having things to look forward to and stuff, but you have to deal with your, deep pain too while you're doing hobbies. It's just, you can't just be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna take up Yahtzee while I'm like deeply devastated about the loss of someone I loved. Like, it doesn't work like that. But anyway, I do think it is good to have like small daily life things to look forward to, even in the midst of like pain. Because I've had a lot of things happen this year, and thankfully not some of the things I was worried about. My parents doing okay after open heart surgery. Had a lot of like a rough recovery and stuff, and it's just been a really long year. And I'm graduating another certificate program in January, and I don't like the classes, but I'm glad I must be done with it. I'm trying to finish my original degree, but I can't find a way to. And anyway, with all the stuff like that, I just wanted to have journals to, like, journaling itself as a way to, like, cope with my shit. So yeah, that's kind of why I've got so many going on. And sometimes journaling isn't really all that comforting. Like, I'll give it that. Like, I was writing earlier, it didn't, it's not like I'm less disappointed about anything. It just makes me like, okay, yeah, it sucks, but I'll figure something out. Like, you can find hope, usually, eventually, some slight ounce of fight in you when you write enough, eventually. And that's what I like about journaling. Not that it really always uses pain, because some things journaling can't resurrect anyone. It can't fix some relationships. There's a lot that it can't do, but you can at least usually find some way of coping with things enough to be able to find something to, some fight left in you, hopefully, eventually. But yeah, it's kind of a rough day. Not just because of that, but I also just haven't felt good. I think I'm coming down with something. But that's beside the point. Anyway, these two journals. Okay, the other one here. So this one I've had since I was a kid. I pull this out to use every now and then when I'm feeling nostalgic. I didn't fill it up then. I maybe did 20 pages or something, or less back then. It's an old Stanrio one. And then this one is a Piccadilly medium essential one. I filled two of these a few years ago, and I'd been trying to find one of them in this color for years. And I finally found one. I used one a while back. And then this one's a vintage Barnes & Noble one from 2001-ish. 2002, I think it was 2001. Started to use this one a little bit, but I just thought it was cool looking. And then this one I used earlier in the year, and I'm too old to stand up like that. I stand up 3 seconds, I'm like, death. That's not sad. Anyway, but yeah, this journal I'd been looking for this for 5 years, but it's just, I bought it used, and then I also moved it around, I guess, just stuck in the shelf too many times, and it's wearing down so much that the leather feels really kind of gross now. And it's still pretty, it feels grainy, and it kind of bothers me to touch it sometimes. If I'm super stressed out, I get super sensory issues. So I have to use this when I'm more relaxed and the texture doesn't bother me. So right now it's kind of on the side, but I used this much of it this year. I haven't actually filled a journal this year. I tried to use some, and none of them really lasted. This one I used a while when I was really young, and then put it away and never finished it, so I decided to start using this as one of my current ones every now and then. And then, death. That just fell over. This one has black paper, and I'm not really actively using this, but I just kind of stuck in here because planning to move in 2020, and I just wanted to have enough journals in this wicker storage box thing that I have to, until I get eventually settled and whatever. So that's kind of another reason why I've got so many going on at the same time, and why they're all just kind of ones that are kind of in use, but it's a lot at the same time. This one I decorated. It was just plain black when I got it, and it's got rainbow paper. That makes me happy. So this is another one of my ones that I'm using. I've written 2 pages in it, but I'm still, this one just, yeah. It's got suede on the inside, so I had to cover it up with reflective vinyl because I don't like suede. But yeah, the rainbow paper is, I've been wanting a rainbow paper journal for years, and surprisingly there are very few of them, or at least straight up rainbow, primary color rainbow. So this one, rainbow colors, just bright, happy colors, are kind of calming to me, which I clearly need in my life. I'm yeah. I think I did take migraine medicine a handful of days in a row, and that kind of affects serotonin. So I think I just kind of affected my mood somehow from that. So I know this video is weird and whatever, but I can't make a good video anyway, so it's fine. A well planned. I don't really like to do that anyway. Screw it. Anyway, this is another one, and I used a Fox one of these last year. I never filled a spiral journal before, and I actually liked it, so I got this year, and I'm not really sure why, but it spoke to me. Not literally, I'm not, it was cute, and I wanted it, and I liked the size of it last year when I used it, so that's a current one. And then another one from when I was a kid that I decided to decorate a little bit, and I also put some rainbow paper in. I rebound some of the pages in it, so it's got some white pages, and then I added some rainbow paper instead on part of it. Is this one, and it's an old journal from, I'm really old, The Gap. And back then I used it as a play journal. My friend and I were going to keep a play journal when we played together. I'm occasionally stutter from this migraine medicine I'm taking. It's very fun. Does anyone take migraine medicine? Do you have that problem? Anyway, so yeah, we're going to do the whole play journal thing. When we were little kids, we'd play together, and we were going to like have a journal for it. And that didn't last but like a handful of times, so this didn't have much in it, and I'm going to fill it now. Or it's kind of one of the current in use ones. And then one more. This one is another one, and this is one of the first journals I tried to use when I was trying to get into journaling when I was kind of a little older. And since then, every now and then I'll use this like kind of a life summary, like I'll summarize that semester. Because when I was first trying to use it, I filled maybe 10 pages, put it away, forgot about it. Like a few years later, found it, and was like, oh my gosh. And so yeah, I've got like years worth of notes in here just because I forgot about it and then found it, and then I decided to use it as like a summary of that semester every now and then. So I've got just years worth of things in here, but I decided to fill it up as a like daily journal instead, because I've got another journal I'm used as like a life journal, and I just wanted to have the nostalgia. And when I started using this was like a big time in my life. It was one of the times that I moved across the country, and I'd switched schools, and I had a lot going on, and I just wanted to like reconnect with that like fight and that like dream or whatever that I had. Not really dream, but I don't really like the word dream. Death. The ambition. Not that I want to be like ambitious, but just the hope that I had at the time. So that's why I'm going to use this. And the thing about the spiral notebooks is they're kind of loud. I think that's why I didn't really get into journaling when I was using this. And the paper's kind of, the paper's a little bit bleach white. This is an old markings one. But yeah, it's really old. And this is like, okay, now I've got like a gazillion of these on the table. I'll show you which are kind of like really the main current ones. So, oh, and that right there is Gilda. That is my succulent plant. I used to have a gazelle, not like an animal, but a gazelle, like a walker gazelle, exercise equipment gazelle. I named it Gilda, and I sold it on Craigslist. I put Gilda the Gazelle for sale on Craigslist, and this lady, like, we went back and forth for like a week. She was like, now when I pick up Gilda, do I have to worry about her bucking? Is she well-mannered? And like, it was just the funniest exchange of emails I've ever had in my life. It was hilarious. I wanted to like marry this lady and her family, like not really marry, but like just, I wanted to get in, I don't know, she was so fun. But yeah, hopefully she's still enjoying Gilda the Gazelle. Anyway, okay, main current journals are this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and then for the Q&A, main one is going to be this one. So it's kind of got like 5 main, I don't know where that accent came from, 5 main ones, and then the others are just kind of like if I happen to feel like using it. I saw someone online who said they had like 40 something journals, and whichever they felt like using at the time they used. So I thought that was interesting. I don't think I'd usually have this many going at the same time, but since I'm trying to find stuff to look forward to and I have a lot going on and I'm moving and all this sort of thing, this works for me now. I think 40 would be a little bit, like, I think that'd be too much for me personally, but let me know what you do if you have, one journal at the same time, or if you have 100, or, I don't know, none. I wonder if anyone would, like, watch my channel and they don't have any journals at all, ever. But yeah, let me know, and have a good night. Bye.